there's a good chance that the black people could get to those jobs. And they wouldn't be in a violation. They could get those jobs. So we ought to look at, see, that's still a form of blaming the victim to some degree of what you're saying right there to me. Because see, this is an environment where we can all sit down and make our choices of what we want to eat and drink. But no disturbance. We got a closed off section that you can plan Black Revolution. You can come in here and plan your own economic program right here. If you would go out and recruit and get the people you need to build your network, you could put it right here. And you didn't have to buy nothing but lemon water. She said, you just want lemon water. You ain't got to spend a dime and build your own economic program.
Actually, we already have our Black economic program. It's called My Econ. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. That's Black home. Debt free. Well, you could Google my name. My name is Maurice Spears, myecon.net. And what we do, we teach you about finances and financial literacy. We teach you about credit and finances and get you out of debt. We teach you about credit because credit is the key of life right now. See, the white man don't want you to know about credit because that's how you get rich. He want to keep you in debt so he can get richer. So when you get out of debt, you take his cut and he get poorer. So you got to learn the credit and learn your taxes because when you learn taxes and credit, you cutting his throat. You have to know finances, and that's the main thing in life right now.
Now, where you pick up your information at, brother? Because that's something that they didn't teach us in school.
Well, I pick mine up at my econ business. It's Black owned for my Black community. It's teaching me knowledge, and it's online. We teach you online. So all you got to do is invest your money to get rich.
Now, Mrs. Sylvia and Mr. Raphael is in Africa. Because I know, because you probably wasn't explaining that to you. So you know, they're the Black independent people that sponsor other blacks' jobs. And if you don't have to eat the swine and come in here, I've only had a smoothie. Everything in there was here. I had kale greens in there, greens and apples and other juices. Okay? And it was good. But don't always be quick to throw a rock and duck behind the trees, but I'm trying to explain. And respect them, even if they had all pork in here, didn't have nothing else. You still got to respect that because independent black business. Why am I saying that? I went up on 7th Street. Here's a man, a hog binder, sell hog every day to black people. But one thing he got that we don't have, we got one tour bus there among us. And I'm catching hell running that goddamn tour bus. You see what I'm saying? We catching hell on that tour bus. This man parked 30 tour buses on his own. The man that hired Daddy Grace Kingdom. He got him a stretch Maybach, is that right?
Go ahead.
He got his own whole police department. And don't no cracker ask him nothing.
That's right.
He got black power. Believe what I tell you. Don't no cracker, not even Donald Trump, don't no cracker walk up to this man. Can't no cracker walk up to this man. And can't no black man walk up to him. Unless he approves you to walk in that circle, you cannot walk up to this man. Unless you face down his police department. And I don't think you want to try that. Okay. He has an armed police department. I got pictures all of it. Right on 7th Street. We hang on 7th Street, right? That man on both sides of 7th Street. He didn't ask me about controlling billions of dollars every day. It's just whatever you want in life. And he eating the hog. Don't give a damn about your kosher diet or your veganness. He wouldn't give a damn about your vegan diet. He got hundreds of black people around him all day long. Do exactly what he said. That's black power when you use it though. But he's not necessarily using it against the enemy. But he can get what he wants to get done. He can call a goddamn shot. There's very few black men that can call a shot. Like the new Black Panther Party, our Daddy Gray. You know what I'm saying when I say Daddy Gray? That's right in your hood every day. You ain't got to come down here to preach about economic development right on your block. Every goddamn day right around. You ain't got to go to Atlanta and get it. Sometimes you have to examine right where you are. You ain't got to go across town to get my right and wrong. So she lived right there before yourself, right? You know everything on 7th Street. And he on both sides. Got a church on each side of it. Go up there and tell him he got the wrong Jesus in his Bible. And he'll tell you you're a goddamn fool. and mean as shit, and can afford, and he can black that goddamn car. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We just got to know, when you got to know who you are, identify who you are. You think I'm a divorce daddy great?
Come on.
Them rappers that pay me hundreds of dollars to security. You think I'm a divorce to rap or the gospel community?
Come on.
Some revolutionaries sound like a goddamn fool out here. That man got a mega truck, got millions and millions of dollars going around him all day long. Got 2 or 3 Rolls Royce and a stretch Bentley. He said, what's wrong with that fool? Well, you ain't heard that Jesus was God? You didn't know Jesus? He said, you need Jesus in your life. And sometimes the revolutionary do need Jesus in your life. Because you sound like a knucklehead walking up to an independently wealthy black man and trying to tell him what time it is. And then he said he got all his kids graduating from the best colleges, and just send them off to Africa. They're bringing trade back from Africa. They ain't going to play around. They're doing big business in Africa. But we're too stupid to see black revolution. When you didn't sponsor it, there must not be black revolution. And that's what Adam Clayton Powell and Dr. King was trying to tell you, that all of us got conditions. But he's going to fight revolution this way. Adam Clayton Powell said that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. represented the second phase of coming of black revolution. That the Black Panther was a phase of it, but that Dr. King was a phase too. That Malcolm X was a phase of it.
Yes, sir.
Nation of Islam can't divorce the Bishop Smallwood Church on New Jersey Avenue. If you all know what I'm saying. He's a black hole in this, as some of these guys, right?
That's right.
Pentecostal bishops. I don't have no reason to divorce T.D. Jakes, do you? I don't have a reason to distance myself from Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. But somebody will come in the black circle, oh, we don't need Sharpton, we don't need Jesse. But Jesse Jackson negotiated for the Iran-Contra deal and bought prisoners of war. Oh, well, that went back for the cracker. Could you do it, sucker?
Come on, go ahead.
Could you do it, sucker? The thing they won't complain on Jesse Jackson, nobody asked them a motherfucking thing.
Go ahead.
Huh? Jackson done more before noon most of his career than them niggas did all their motherfucking life, Slim. I'm giving it to you free. And now you can get it where the ghost is right here where you can get it. But that's real talk, brother. I said you got to have realism in your life. And that's what you got to understand. That realism. Say that I have to love me some Shakur and love me some Jesse Jackson. Even though you dislike him, I love him. Why? Because he's a black man and he's doing something. He up doing something. He ain't doing what you tell him. What leader anywhere on the planet, 196,940,000 square miles, gonna do to you? You come in with your regular paper and gonna tell him, you gonna tell him how to run his business corporation. And he got armed guards all around him, telling you, here goes Sweet Daddy Gray. What are you talking about, son? Oh, come in and have a seat. Would you like some cold drink? He a gentleman, a peaceful man, but he got power. You just don't recognize the power that you want. But he has black power. And you have to learn to respect all the people. That's all I'm trying to say to you. You learn how to respect all these black people getting free their own way. You, because he's not saying black power and Black Panther, then you say the man ain't free. But I bet you when you get on that airline, he goes on to Nairobi and Kenya, and going on into Uganda and Africa where Idi Amin was. When he goes into Mecca and some of them guys are Grand Masons, am I right or wrong? Some of them guys Grand Masons. And they have Pontiac, they have Prince Hall Masons that got free. And they pick up the Quran, they pick up the Bible, and they use it. What's wrong with a man being a Freemason? And he free and this man got millions of dollars as access. Huh? Millions and millions. You can't put together 2 toothpicks, but you will tell me about a man that because he's a Prince Hall Mason, and he ate a pork chop sandwich, and you saw him eat it, that he ain't free. He thinks you the damn fool. When he get in his Cadillac and roll out, he says, what's wrong with that boy? I don't know. He picked them pork chop out of his tube and keep it going. But brother says, the only thing I'm trying to say is you get some tolerance. Maybe if you appeal to the brother, you say, brother, have you tried the vegan sandwich? There's limitation, man. He said, damn, this good. Maybe I will stop eating pork alcohol. It's just that simple, brother. But thank you so much for your time. And know that that's a key to freedom, but your economic dignity is not in one place. It's neither here or there. There's no righteousness in turning your face towards the east or the west.
Go ahead.
But it's righteousness that you believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High God, has revealed something and left something here for the righteous. For anyone who has right intention, anyone who even wishes to be right. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, that this is telling you that this is a book, in it is a guidance sure for anyone who wishes to do right.
That's right.
And that's the first intention of the righteous is to be what? Yourself right. Am I right? Get yourself right first. And when you get your mind right, automatically your rap will be tight. Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power. Automatically your rap will be tight. You get your goddamn mind right.
That's right.
Black
Yeah,
power.
I have a question for you,
Yes,
brother.
go right
I
Give
am
it
so
to me.
sorry I came in late, but I came in from work, but I'm so happy that you came all the way from West Virginia, but I missed most of your presentation, but I just have a question for you. Basically, I know you're involved in prison reform program, I think.
Well, we do. I came out of there myself, so I do help counsel those people, those brothers and sisters that are coming through prison. Okay, so I help counsel them in their reintegration back into society.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you say is a major challenge that they face, those who have been incarcerated coming back into the community? What type of problems, or what's the major problem they encounter?
That's a good point. And I'll tell you from my own personal experience, I had support systems in place. Now, in West Virginia, when I discharged from prison, West Virginia did not have any support services for people that have been in prison, particularly black men. Okay, if you was black men in prison in West Virginia, you get out, you go back into them communities. You got a hard road to travel. However, I was fortunate. I had the support of my family. I went back to Pennsylvania, and I worked at my church. Coming out of prison, two things you have to have: employment and a place to stay where you got peace, where you can, because you have to actually deprogram yourself from whatever you went through while you was away. You have to reintegrate so much to establish your life all over again.
Exactly.
So it takes housing and employment and a support system of people that believe in you. And they tell you, we believe in you, we know you've been away, but whatever you did before, you can't go back to if you went for committing a crime.
Right.
And you have to actually work on yourself, clean yourself up, do self-awareness. It's not just me, it's me representing my family. So I made a mistake before, I was there in that place, but that place is not in me. I got a better life ahead of me. But you have to take a positive attitude. I have a friend of mine that I worked in a prison law library with, Jimmy Gardner, and he does inspirational, motivational speaking because he was wrongly convicted. Now I told this audience here that I was incarcerated. I was wrongly convicted as well, but I did chop down that man. I admit to that. Okay, I admit to that. Okay, but still I was wrongly convicted and was sentenced to life without mercy. Okay, so I had a right to restore my life, and again, I was fortunate enough that I had people that believed in me. But before they believed in me, I believed in myself. So you tell your friend or any of your contacts that they got to start working on themselves before they get out of prison.
Okay.
And then after they get out, they got to continue to work on themselves, but have a support system and go through counseling to deprogram themselves for some of the things they went through in prison. Okay. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Oh yeah, you're very helpful. So the program that you have, what is it? What is it about?
Well, actually, we're working to put together a program for those people that were incarcerated. I'm involved with, I'm the national chairman of West Virginia Blackunity Coalition. And what we basically do, once we get a referral, I talk to these people myself.
Okay.
And what I do is I give them assignments and see how they carry out their assignments. If I give you an assignment and you can't carry out the assignment, that's telling me, okay, this brother or sister, they need a little work. Okay? And so self-mastery, self-awareness, and self-mastery is part of the program. Okay? Yeah.
So how can a new Black Panther Party in D.C. what can we do to become involved in your program?
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, the West Virginia Black Unity Coalition is seeking its tax-exempt status, okay, in the state. But we have to set up these group homes. And when I say group homes, the group home concept was a concept that was there at one time before, but the country got away from the whole idea of rehabilitation, okay, that people can be rehabilitated, that they can be restored. The group home concept would be those people that are coming out, you get together among other positive people that are working on self-awareness, and they have a specific counselor that counsels them. Again, before you got here, I spoke about Brother Bilal Akbar, who counseled me. He counseled me. And coming from on the inside back into the free society, you do need counseling. You do. And that's one of the areas where a lot of guys and girls, they mess up because they've been demonized by being a prisoner, being on the inside. So they come back out, they see other people with nice cars, they want nice cars. But it takes time. And the nice car is a material thing. That's not you. That's an expression of you. So it takes some redefinement, some proper definitions dealing with yourself. The car don't make you. The car is an expression of you.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I would say, we're going to work to put together something specifically. I believe guys coming out, females coming out, they need a rites of passage program. And you need to be able to take into account those people who have made a successful transition. Meaning, I discharged in 1995, okay? I caught small petty cases where, once you go and you get out, it's easier to put you back in. That brother over there know, right? They can put a petty case on you. If you didn't learn anything while you was away, you might be going back in a hurry, okay? So I tell people, study the law, get yourself, when I say study the law, know about due process. A lot of times they paying cases on us all the time, and you might go and check the complaint, and the statute that the police cited don't even fit. It happens a lot of times, but if you don't know to go and check the statute, you don't know how to get yourself out of a jam that somebody else that know how to do that would have got themselves out of that jam. So anybody coming out, they can expect to be tagged, depending upon, especially if you're black.
Yes.
I've seen some of my sister friends do time in prison, get out, guess what? Get tagged. Because they was away in prison, something happened with them, they pull up their prison record, go after them with a ferociousness. So you have to protect yourself. I would tell people, don't be out late at night.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be, my younger brother, he might be listening to this, but my younger brother thanked me. He said, man, I learned from you. He told me he went out to a club with one of my cousins, and he said a white boy walked up to him and told him, you are one big nigger. And my brother looked at me and said, John, I knew I could have smashed him, but I thought to myself, this guy's trying to bait me. Right. And I shouldn't be in this place, in a place where he could do something like that to me. So he said he turned around, walked about the club, stopped going to the club. Because he felt like that wasn't the place where he needed to be, that could put him in a situation where he could end up being
Be set up.
It could be set up. And you got to watch for the setup. Because I was set up. Okay. I was myself. I can go a little further. 6 months after I got out of prison, I spent 12 years in prison. I discharged. I was set up. I was walking up the hill, white boy yelled out the window, hey, punk. And if you've been in prison, punk is fighting words. So I ran right over there, and I put him down. But guess what? I was facing the possibility of another 12 years in prison. And I had to use whatever skills I learned while I was away. I was charged with that, and I had to get on the stand and testify about what really happened. And a predominantly white jury in Sharon, Farrell, Pennsylvania acquitted me. Thank God, because I would have been doing another 12 years. After having done 12 years in West Virginia, I'd have had to do 12 in Pennsylvania. So the war is on, sis.
Yes.
So you got to protect yourself, protect your people, get right knowledge.
Okay.
I would say Due process. Know your rights.
Okay, all right.
What is due process? Due process is notice. First up, you got to receive notice, legitimate notice. Any notice of a charge against you, you have a right to face your accusers. You have a right to all the documentation involved in that charge.
Okay.
A lot of times, if you don't know, you just don't know. They take advantage of that. Okay?
Well, thank you for coming to D.C. and hopefully we will see you again. Thank you for sharing all that information, brother.
Well, I appreciate D.C. I want to come back to D.C.
We want to invite you
We
back.
got you back.
What you back?
We got you back.
My econ is a home-based business. So it's a program for returned citizens and veterans to be self-employed, to make their own money. Also, you learn how to make residual income. So you're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. So you better keep up with the inflation of the real estate and the government and trade and stocks is going on. So right now, the government is backed by gold still. They're not telling you that, but you need to pretty much invest your money in precious metals. Anytime you see precious metals coming on your TV, that means they're telling you something. That means you need a precious metals. Gold and silver is money still. You have to have that in your house. Also, you want to set up an IRA account, because that's going to protect your finances in the future.
Are you connected with the Office of Returning Citizens here in D.C.? I'm familiar with that office.
Actually, not yet, but I will soon.
So you know Brian Ferguson?
Yeah, they go to Southeast by the Big Chair. That's the first building they go to when they come home. We also have an entrepreneur return citizen program to teach them how to start their own business in the District of Columbia. Also, we have an entrepreneur program right here on Minnesota Avenue to teach the young kids from the age of 16 to 24 years old how to start their own business and how to be an entrepreneur in the District of Columbia.
Good stuff, good stuff. We're working on that Office of Returning Citizens. That's one of the programs that West Virginia Blackunity Coalition is trying to put down for our state. And we want to be able to use the D.C. model as a model for our state. Okay, so we'll be in contact, brother.
Okay.
Appreciate hearing from you. Is that anybody else?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna say one thing.
Okay.
About what you were talking about, people coming out into society. A lot of guys waste their time when they go to the penitentiary. They want to play cards, play pool, keep up with sports, and wonder why they keep going through this revolving door. That's the difference between being institutionalized and institutional-wise.
All right.
If you're institutional-wise, you want to spend your own time in there, work on your mind, soul, and education. Now, how much time did you do?
I did 12 years, brother.
Did it go past quick?
As a matter of fact, when I look back on it, I was there during my 20s, but I did self-improvement, right? And sometimes I look back and I'll be like, man, them years went by, but I come out that place young.
Did it go past quick?
It went by pretty quick.
But not quick enough to do it again, right?
Not quick enough, no,
Like the
sir.
youngsters used to tell me, you know, hey, yo, man, I'm getting ready to go home today. And you know what? I wouldn't tell them, well, you going to be all right, man. You know I tell them, you crack it through, let your black ass out. You live on the rest of your life, and here you go out there and fuck up and come back to me. That's what I had to tell it to him, you know. Like Imam Akbar said, I ain't putting no sugar on it, no peanut butter, no jelly. I'm giving it to him straight raw.
Right.
Now them came out, you see. So we trying to get them on the level of this young man right here. You know, they
Right.
say he's smart for his age. No, he ain't supposed to be for his age. He
So-
pull your pants up.
How long were you incarcerated, brother?
4 years.
4
Pretty
years?
much I was raised by Adrian Finke. He was the mayor of the District of Columbia. Before he became the mayor of the District of Columbia, he was a lawyer, attorney. Also, his mom and dad owned a store up at Agus Morgan still. Also, pretty much I learned a lot by being a young councilman for the District of Columbia, dealing with the Department of Justice and law enforcement in the District of Columbia. Also, I deal with non-profit organizations now, like Totally Family Care, with young people who have behavioral problems with their family, and they go to school and they act up, and they don't know why. They pretty much fight for their rights. So we have a lot going on in the District of Columbia when it comes for the youth return citizens and also adult return citizens, and women too.
Okay, and the Office of Returning Citizens evidently is having an impact on the incarceration rates here in D.C.?
Of course, it's on the individual. It's not just the government. It's on the person itself. You have to work on yourself. You got to be able to work with yourself and with the staff members too. So you got to be honest with yourself and the staff, so they can be able to help you.
Now I need to ask you this question. Would the Office of Returning Citizens, for instance, take up issues dealing with conditions of confinement? That's one of the questions that I have, because we want to be able to do that kind of thing in West Virginia, but we would deal with conditions of confinement too for them on the inside, because they deal with that stuff. Actually,
since we have Mayor Bowles in office, and I'm going to speak for, we pretty much have a big issue with the guns in the District of Columbia. But we also don't want to just lock up returned citizens and send them back. We have programs for them in the community when they get in trouble with the parole board. So now they're trying to work with the parole board and probation so we don't send them back inside the institution because it's not helping them. So we're trying to give them more leeway on giving them programs and counseling and what they need out in the community.
Okay. What did Fenty do for you when you were incarcerated?
By me being a mental health entrepreneur, Adrian Fenty did a lot for me. He's helped me become an entrepreneur. He helped me, taught me how to interact with police officers and talk to them and know how to talk to them and train some officers. And right now, a lot of officers do know me in the District of Columbia, from the Secret Service, from the Homeland Security, from the FBI. They definitely know who I am. They pretty much respectful, some of them. They know how to deal with a lot of different avenues when they see me. So when I see them in the community, they see me, they have themselves adaptable and they do their job professionally when I'm around.
Now, did that prevent, now, dealing with police, okay, because I'm going to use this to help myself, right? Generally, as a black male coming up, with all the police killings and so forth, I have a relative in my family that's a former police officer. I had to work with that because I had a disdain for police, just growing up. I watched my daddy didn't like police, and I didn't like police because he didn't like police. But you're telling me that somewhere there's a level, a lane that we can engage them and keep our integrity. And I'd like for you to speak on that because you'd be able to help me and maybe somebody else.
Well, I graduated from the Young Marines, 8th and 9th, and they taught me a lot of stuff. When you put yourself in a situation, you have to judge yourself first. And I'm an image of God, so by me being an image of God, I have to pretty much take responsibility of the things that I did wrong and pretty much overcome the bad things and do the good things for the community and give back to the community. So I had to pretty much overcome certain things. I wasn't really a talker person, I was bad. So it was like I had to really find myself, and I found myself, and I pretty much found the side of the fence that I want to be at, and being a young black king for my community now is to be able to show my young generation that they can talk and trust some of the police officers out here in the community. I pretty much raised my cousins that way. They didn't like the police officers, and we have good cops and bad cops. It's going to be like that, but they see that we had a lot of good cops and police officers, took them to the gun range, they ate together and chill, have fun, party. So we have, they pretty much interacting in the clubs in the District of Columbia right now.
Okay. Well, the good cops put the bad cops in check. That's what I want to know.
Actually, yes.
You seen examples of that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Actually, when you have a lot of black brothers who have stripes like sergeants and lieutenants, actually they will chew them up when they're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Behind the scenes. It's not in the public eyes, behind closed doors, but yes, they will. They will get in trouble.
One thing. Are you for reparations?
Say that again?
Are you for reparations?
Say that again?
Are you for reparations?
What you mean by that?
Reparations, what I mean by reparations that black people deserve payment for slavery, that we deserve land of our own, the opportunity for self-government. When we say reparations. Yeah.
Like the Indians. Yeah, I believe in that.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody, and it, let me put it like this, the United States of America Incorporated is a freedom country. This is what George Washington said. He want to treat everybody equally. And when you come here, everybody should get treated equally. And you have to pretty much read. And it's important for you to read and learn your rights and laws. It's definitely important. There's a lot of people who don't know their laws and rights. And then when you know these things, you can be able to get that stuff done.
All right, bro.
Because education is power.
All right. Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black unity.
Black power.
It's black power. All right, brothers. Hey,
Okay,
I thought that was good.
well, we'll, I guess wrap this session of the Community Blackboard up. You can get a circle of hook up. Can we hook up and someone give us a word of spiritual advice on the way out of here? Unless you do have anything else, Brother John, Commission Shabazz. Thank you for being our best. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of Black Power.
Black power.
Black Power.
Black power.
Like power.
Black power.
Actually, all the hook on up, and in our prayer circle, man. Just anyone have a word that going in, anybody lead us.
I say this. I want to thank you all for bringing me in, but around this time last year, I lost my auntie, my mother's sister. And I went down to Virginia Beach to pick her up. I brought her back to West Virginia so she could spend some time with my mother, her sister, and she had a stroke and passed. And I'm going to Virginia for that reunion that was organized by her children. But I want to thank that sister for being an auntie and looking down on me and riding with her brother when not too many other people was riding with me. And so I want to send that thankful word out to her and all of the ancestors that helped us along the way.
I just want to acknowledge today that it was Emmett Till's birthday. He would have been 78 years old today.
Oh, yes.
And just in his memory and his honors as an ancestor and the struggle that his family went through to lead us into these meetings of black power and empowerment. It was things that I learned briefly that his mother said when she found out her son died, her mama touched her and it gave her all the power and strength she needed to keep fighting for civil rights and justice and to accept the fact her child was gone, but she knew she had a bigger fight ahead of her. And that's all that we all just never give up the fight. Keep fighting for justice and what's right. Don't be scared of this oppression. Black power.
Black power.
Anyone else?
I'll say one thing about my mother had a stroke 44 years ago. She's 86 now. Sometimes she's going to keep still. But you know what, now, I must say, I tell people, your parents didn't die, they just made parole. Now, I hope I'm staying strong enough to follow my own advice on the day that, you know, when it's time for her to make parole off this planet, because this planet is a big prison. So before I go to bed every night, I say, oh Lord, please forgive us our sinful thoughts and our sinful actions in the past, present, and future. The ones we're well, the ones we're not well, and thank you for the blessings you give us the past, present, and future. The ones we're cognizant of, and the ones we're incognizant of. And I just amen it with that when I pray. But everybody has their own form.
God is good and He's good all the time. And the Lord is our shepherd, we shall not want. He maketh lie down in green pastures. He leadeth us beside the still waters, He restores our souls. He leads us to path of righteousness for His name's sake. And yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we won't fear no evil, because we know that you are with us. That rod and that staff, they comfort us. So we just give you praise and we just thank you, God, that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Not one weapon. Not one weapon. As we rely on you and keep you, Lord, you will always keep us in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you. So no devil in hell will prevail against us, because we are doing your work, God, fighting for justice, fighting for equality for our people, your people, in the name of Christ.
Amen. Let's raise it up together. Let's repeat it. Anybody else have? Okay, we are an African people. Let's repeat after me.
We are an African people.
We've been robbed of our language, been robbed of our nationhood, robbed of our brotherhood, robbed of our sisterhood. We shall rise, never to fall again. Up ye a mighty nation, we can accomplish whatever we will. All power to the people, all praises are due. Black power,
Black power.
black power,
Black power.
black power,
Black power.
and a strong black
Black
military. We can black that call.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum and black power.
Alaikum salam.
Black power.
Reparations now.
Reparations are mandatory, and they're not negotiable.
All right.
Reparations are not negotiable. All praises are due. And all reparations are due. I'm going to give this to you. Ready?
Yeah. My bad.
Did you end that call? That call that you ended? He should have it. I should have it. Somebody got it.
Yeah,
The
Pass her phone. Oh, there you go. Can you end that? Make sure you end it. I don't know how far it went, but make sure that it's
And the
ended.
name of the website will be MauriceSpears.myecon.net.
Back
It
there,
stands for
got black
Your
people.
Economic.
All right.
That means you have to know your own finances and know what to do with it.
Remind me of my granddaddy when he used to say you gotta know the value of money and how to handle money.
Because I'm at home and I need to make my own money.
Oh.
Political pressure, political action, and the calls for reparations. Number 2 is economic sanctions against entities involved in slavery and economic sanctions in general on white corporate America for the cause of reparations. Number 3 is the internationalization of the cause of reparations legally that we're working on right now and politically. Internationalization politically. This is point number 3B. I am not with this teaching that our African brother and sister in Africa is not our brother and sister and they are our enemy and it's only about us inside of America. I'm not with this teaching, some of you Negroes running around here with an American flag, posted American flag, saying you for some form of reparations and American flag is your logo. You American, now you're American. No, you backwards. You backwards with that. Reparations is owed to black people all over the planet. Reparations is owed to African people that's living all over the planet. Reparations is owed for colonialism. Reparations is owed for the horrific effects of imperialism. Reparations is owed also to our African brothers and sisters, even if some parts of
Strong position against your enemy today. And we must go with strength, with a strong commitment for the dedication for the unity of black people. With that said, we will bring on now our National Chief of Staff is here and ready to update you on what has happened in Jamestown this morning. Just returned from the 200 plus men. We've just heard from our Indian chief. We've also heard from Bob Brown. And now we're ready to hear from our National Chief of Staff, Brother Hashim Nzinga. Thank you, and Black Power. Black Power. Black Power. Black Power.
God's on your side.
God's on the side.
God saw what happened. He was here. Right. He was wondering when we was going to get here. And it took us a long time to get here. But thank God we're here. Some people are reading history books. Some people are reading their baby books about 20 black people from Africa coming to Jamestown, Virginia. It's time for black people to stop reading so many history books and start being in history books.
That's right.
Our problem is we read and look at too many videos and we don't do the work with them videos. We talk about Dr. Khalid Muhammad in every corner, in every coffee shop in New York, in Cleveland, in Miami, in Atlanta, but we don't do the work of Dr. Khalid Muhammad.
That's right.
Because goddamn it, if some white people were celebrating the death of our ancestors, standing on the bones of the graves of our ancestors, and we're drinking out of the streams with the blood flowing of our ancestors, goddamn it, Dr. Khalid would be here today. Am I right?
That's right.
All those people that are not here, you tell them they don't know Dr. Khalid.
That's right.
Because to know a man, you're acting his actions.
That's right.
You tell them they don't know Malcolm. Malcolm would have been here with a bullhorn.
That's right.
You tell them they don't know Malcolm. You tell them to stop talking about God. You tell them Harriet Tubman didn't act the way they asked you. She would have been on top of the ground today, not underground. All right? We ain't here to make no show. We here because we owe somebody something. Some baby died where we going today.
That's right.
Some mother pregnant got a baby kicked out of her unjust by white boots. Where we go, people were lynched, they ran, and they looked back and they saw old cracker chasing them with dogs where we going today. That's right. We ain't going to play. The national chairman of this party didn't call this for no damn Leave It to Beaver show. No, sir. This ain't no damn Amos and Andy show. This is what a black man and a black woman is supposed to do on the day. Right. This is the day that God has given us to fight back.
Black power. Black power. Shame on Jamestown. Shame on Jamestown. Look, I don't care. We got a strong team here. I'm looking at some strong black men. And we got to roll and do this. Again, as brothers, everything is said, I affirm everything that has been said. This is a divine mission. I wouldn't rather be any other place than right here, right now. So go ahead and roll with my allies. Our allies. The original people of this land. And to go in here and to oppose this celebration. Right. And so this is important on many, many levels. It's important because of the alliances here that are being developed between the American Indian Movement, the New Black Panther Party, the Red Wind Nation, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, with Black Lawyers for Justice, with other black men here and soldiers from the Norfolk area. I mean, hell, black men, just talking about us for a minute, we're going to be known for something else today other than goddamn BET, right, sir? And bullshit. Think about this. We're going to be known, the world is going to see today, because this will be carried. If we do this right today, it will be carried. Not only down there, but it will be carried across the damn world. I've been reading the internet today. What we're doing today has already been announced in Minneapolis and across the ocean in international newspapers. They're talking about us. I'm not afraid on that. This little band, the Revolutionary, let's get Shakur here right now. Shakur here right now. This little band here of activists, people that are bold enough to oppose this. They're talking about this all over the world. So you will be known today, the black man, to stand up for something else other than bullshit, and to stand for people that really have been wiped out, and that we're going to get down really on our heads, hands, and knees and allow them to stand on our back today. I would do all of this just for Brother Wabani, the American Indian Movement, the Red Wind Nation, and Sister Warrior Woman. As God is my witness, I would do it for them. But damn it, I also got to do it for the slaves that came through Jamestown. I also got to do it for the continued racial oppression that was afflicted the black man and woman of Virginia. That's right. And the white man keeps his foot and his whole colonial system on our neck today. We want to let them know there's a new black man coming up from Virginia today. So I'm honored to have worked with this black man, Brother Keith B, Brother Jelani. These men here have met us and have worked hard to bring this about. Let's give him a black hand. Brother Shabazz has came from West Virginia. He called over and over and over again. He said, I ain't got no ride. I can't do this. I got this problem and that issue. But goddamn it, he's here. He haven't asked for a damn thing. I don't know how the hell he got here. I don't know how he's getting back. But goddamn it, he said he's a revolution in his blood. His revolution in his background. No matter what kind of financial or family situation he's facing, goddamn it, he's going to do God's will. And I'm here to tell you, if you take one step towards God's will, he'll take a step towards you. So that this is the key to getting your job straight in your life or your wife and all of that straight, is when you start doing God's will. And you'll have more time than you even dream of. Hell, I'm sitting up here trying to come here and lead this demonstration on a legal conference call to try to free Malachi York out of federal prison, doing 100 things at the same time. Damn it, this agenda is still rolling. That's right. And it's rolling because God has blessed us, but he's blessed me with men like this, and men like Najee Muhammad, who gave up his life, sitting here looking like he's about to fall out because he just left everything he had, went to another city, because he obeys what I say and trusts my leadership, and came up here and just lived. Didn't know where he was going to live from day to day. He just did it on faith. And because he did it on faith, we're here today. And so what you do today, we're going to move here coordinated. We got to set this up and think seriously right now. Hashim, everybody that's going should get their permit now. We try to keep the line and the caravan straight so we stay with each other, but it ain't 100% guaranteed. So we got to make sure right now that we all got our permit and that we all get to the same parking lot. And so that we put the experienced Virginia drivers gapped in the middle of the caravan. Right. So that if some of us get split, the experienced Virginia drivers know how to take those on in to the parking lot. Is that right? What we want to try to do here is to reduce the amount of cars. If there's any way we can reduce the amount of vehicles and pile in other vehicles, it would probably be better than to carry 14 cars than to carry 7 packed vehicles. I just know logistics, but if that ain't possible, if you just gotta roll, because when you get out, then that'll be on you. So what I'm thinking, we've had enough inspiration, but right now we need serious logistics. How many, don't we have 100? Got 100?
God came to me with the Holy Spirit, man. It told me what's going to happen to black people, you know what I'm saying, everything in the future. So, like a new prophet or something, like the prophet of this generation. It's 2 sets of stars in the sky. I'm going to go back to creation, but it's 2 sets of stars in the sky. It's a big dipper and a little dipper. Normally, the little dipper is so far away from us.
And you know where you're going.
Yeah. I know how to get to Jamestown, but I don't know.
You might have to get gas, right?
Nah, I don't got to get no gas.
Well, that's the other brother. Okay, but you know how to get to where we're
going, right? These foreigners, these murderers, these killers, befriended them and they repaid them with smallpox. With wiping out the indigenous people altogether. Right. And because they don't have what it takes to build a civilization, they went back to the founders of the Egyptian pyramids, the ones who gave mathematics to the world, the ones who civilized them when we found them in the caves of Europe, the original man and woman. They went and tricked as they always do. Who's the master trickster? White man. Don't say it like you scared. Right. That's right. Who's the master trickster? The white man. Went and tricked our ancestors and brought us over here. We didn't come as a slave. We were broken down into a slave. We actually arrived here in 1555. That's right. And Elijah Muhammad told us that. Over 30, 40 years ago in the message to the black man, he said the white man didn't come in here 1619, he actually came in 1555. That's right. So from 1555 to 1995 was 400 years. Right. From 1995 to 2007, we're looking at 450 years that we have been here. 1555 to 1619, there's a hidden period there, by which they broke us down into a slave. But you don't go get a slave to build a world like this. That's right. You go get skilled doctors and botanists and scientists and engineers. That's where you and I come from. We represent the best of our people. In fact, we represent the greatest people that ever lived anywhere on the earth at any time, because we have survived the greatest horrendous crimes of humanity of any people. But we're here today to reclaim the birthright of the red and the black. This is our land, and when we drive through here and we see the see the nice buildings. Look at what you have built. You built these roads. You built to clear this area that we're standing on. You built the universities. Our ancestors built this, and it's only fitting that now we're here to reclaim what is rightfully ours. This is ours. We work for it.
Ashe. I want to pour this out for Harriet Tubman. Ashe. I want to pour this out for Frederick Douglass. Ashe. I want to pour this out for Dessalines. Ashe. Pour it out for Tucson. Slavery period.
Still going on.
Ashe. I want to pour this out for Will the Executor.
Ashe.
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 Now, many of you still here.
The Bush plantation.
Jackson.
The Bush.
Jackson.
Bush.
Robinson. Bush.
That's my vice.
Bush.
Bush.
King.
Edwards.
Hayes. King. Ashe. Robinson. Oh, when we pour it out, we got to give honor. Allen.
Ashe.
Those.
Ashe.
Phillips.
Ashe.
Simmons plantation.
John Baptiste plantation.
Ashe. Yellow. I'm going to make a strategic move right now. Let us finish this by honoring some of our ancestors. I pour this out for Marcus Garvey.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Malcolm X.
Ashe.
Pour it out for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Huey Newton.
Ashe.
I pour it out for Stephen Biko.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Patrice Lumumba.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Sekou Touré.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Kwame Nkrumah.
Ashe.
Pour it out for Dr. Khalid Muhammad.
Ashe.
Pour it out for all the unnamed, the unknown.
How to be well.
Ones you don't know. It could be the laborers in the SNCC. It could be the laborers
Right.
in the Nation of Islam. It could be the laborers in the Black Panther Party.
Right.
It could be a brother or sister that's name you never know that was shot down or cut down in these woods over here. Or somebody that died from a heart attack or a so-called slave that was brought here but was too sick to work for the white man, so they just threw him overboard or threw him to the side. Let's pour it out for the unnamed and the unknown. What we're going to do now is I think it's the wise move for us to go through this search.
Damn.
Get on this first.
How you doing, brother? How you doing? Okay.
Brother Wisdom. Brother Wisdom. Need to let your windows up around the car. You can already get in.
One bar.
Which one? 289, maybe, yes. 726, yes.
What's the rest of the story? What's the rest of the story? Talking about jail. Dr. King wrote his best piece from the Birmingham jail. He said, you want us to move like what? A horse and a buggy. Why you moving with jet-like speed. He said, you want us to cool off. If we cool off any longer, we'll be in a deep freeze. How they want to talk about that man and then go always talk about King and Gandhi. Ain't that what they say? King was non-violent. You call it Gandhi. But you better study Gandhi a little more. Gandhi went to South Africa, got the hell beat out of him by the white British, went back and started fighting his people. Gandhi was a sophisticated, arrogant lawyer out of India, separated from his people. He was the top 10% till they put some of them clubs on his ass. Then Gandhi went back to England, went back to India, and he started talking to his people about what's done to them. And then you want to say, yeah, he worked non-violent, but what did he do? What's the true Gandhi? The minute he got power, the minute he went to see the Queen of England in that diaper they called him, first thing he told the British was, go home, get off my land. The only thing King forgot he was on his own land. So he couldn't tell the man to leave his land, so he had to integrate. Don't you tell me about King and Gandhi unless you go tell me Gandhi told the British to leave. Let us handle our own business.
Right, that's right.
He might not have been non-violent, but he was no damn fool. He knew what the enemy was. He had told the enemy to leave. He didn't say let's integrate, but we can go to the same toilet. We can drink out of the same water fountain. He said, no, leave this water fountain for the Pakistan. Leave this for India. And the CIA and the white man still over there making them kill each other. They still ain't woke up and don't understand Gandhi to this day. Because Gandhi left them for them to work together against the British, and they let the British come right back and work them against each other. So we got to understand, right? So we got a third out to deal with today. Huh? I know these glasses look like we can get 20 billion with them, but you blind as hell looking at the glasses. It's the mind. That's right. Look, huh? That's right. Huh? That's right. Shaka Zulu saw him. What did he do?
Killed, massacred, random death, slaughtered.
When they heard Shaka's name, they shake. That's right. Shaka's biggest problem was other tribes around him who should have gathered with him. That's right. And sent him back on their way. They gonna tell us something wrong with us. We feed. How the hell you come up with the cliche, the sun rises and sets on the British Empire if you ain't no damn thief? Right. Went everywhere, taking everybody's land. That's right. Taking everybody's children. Right. And then you want us to sit here and suffer peacefully like Malcolm said. No, we can't. Nobody gonna take this suffering. Hell no. We going to Harvard, Yale, Howard, Hampton, Clark, Spelman, studying at Master PhDs in history, world study. You want us to still act like we don't know a damn thing? It was like Chris Rock said, a slave driving a wagon. And the slave said, damn, if I stop at this stop sign, the slave master don't kill me because he know I can read. But if I go through the stop sign, this other wagon gonna hit him. So he went through through the stop sign, the wagon hit him, and what did he say? White man say, boy, didn't you see that sign? Can't you read? He said, no, sir, I can't read. You talking about that octa thing? Man told him I was beyond reading.
Was put out for this land, free labor with no check, with no money. So they owe us reference. But King Mentally of Ethiopia, he set the gold bars. When the so-called abolishment of physical black plantation, physical slavery began, King Mentally set the gold bars, but oh, no good Senator Stevenson began to steal those gold bars. Put them in Fort Knox. So the money on here that you talk about, the gold and silver and the dollar backed by the gold and silver, is the gold stolen from Ethiopia, pushed over here for the abolishment of slavery. Wake 'em up, Akbar. Wake 'em up. You know that we need to wake up and check the end of the day. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. So fast, so fast. So fast. A scientist, an inventor, a surveyor, Honorable Benjamin Banneker, a strong black man. Where's the attic? Look from the front.
Make sure every car and every bus see it. Here they come, all these people need to see me sign.
Where's Shakur?
Show the sign. Show them what we talking about. Show them the proof. Show them we ain't out here. Show them the crime like we in court. Show them the evidence for Attorney Shabazz. Exhibit 8. Out, brother.
You leave it there for now.
Man, get up here, we can send a sign to you.
Look good, black woman, hold that sign. Where's Bobby Nina? Pull it out. Pull it out. Give me a space in the middle. That's right. Give me space in the middle. We're gonna wait on the chief. Bring that sound close over here, brother. That's where our official release is. blacklawyersforjustice.org. I gotta tell you this. We're gonna get into everything. We're gonna get into the permit and the location and all of that. Before we get started, I want you to understand is that we are not here just to talk to these white folks that are over here to the side.
Right.
We are here also to talk to ourselves.
Right.
And let's bring the chief on over. Because there are plenty more to speak the peace. Black power, red power. Red power. Shame on Jamestown. Shame on Jamestown. Shame on Jamestown. Shame on Jamestown. We find no reason here to celebrate the genocide of the Indians and the way that white America and the old no-good so-called Jamestown settlers who came to Jamestown, black boots stomping aboard these shores and have nothing but blood on their hands. That's right. No reason to celebrate. The founding of Jamestown. That's right. From the old English Empire. The Indians here had built great civilization. That's right. The so-called Indians, really the indigenous and the original people of this land, that's right, had built great civilization. Over 16 different counties or orders of civilization they had built just in this area alone. And now here today, the original rulers of this land, when you were laying here that when you were brought to Jamestown, you couldn't feed yourself.
Think about it.
When you were brought here to Jamestown, you couldn't clothe yourself. When we let me say for the record, in all due respect to our indigenous brothers and sisters, out of your good heart and out of the heart that the Creator and destroy a whole town full of white folks. And know that the death sentence is on America. You will see tornado after tornado coming in and tearing your ass up. Sorry about my language, man. I'm officially pissed off.
You're on the right side.
Officially. The celebration to us, and look at this damn demonstration site. We want it to be where we can see all of the white folks. That's all right. I'm honored that you would bring out your little puny SWAT team with their little tin can hats. And your little World War I hats. And your little helicopters. I'm honored that you would show us this honor. Because the world will know that we were here. Let me come back. I'll come back at you in a moment, but I want to bring on my brother. Wabanini. Chief Wabanini.
Introduction, I should clarify one thing first of all. The term chief is often reserved for our most respected elders and spiritual leaders. And of course, Hollywood referred to them as chiefs. And in our traditional way, whenever we are asked to speak, we always open up, first of all, with one of our sacred songs. And the reason we're here today, and as I was escorted into this stockade, it reminded me of what happened 400 and some years ago.
Go ahead.
Because our indigenous people of this land were rounded up similarly and put in stockades, where they suffered the most horrendous crimes against humanity, every sense of the word, war crimes. It's been a 400 and some year Holocaust. And to offer our respect and our prayers through one of our songs, one of the first victims of this Holocaust, represented by these young men standing to my left and to my right. Steve, come on up here. And others, Ricky, and sisters and brothers from the great Tuscarora nation who in fact survived the American Holocaust, which claimed as many as 16 million of us through biological warfare, smallpox, blankets, diphtheria, and more than 1,700 of the Tuscarora who were not put on a death march to northern New York, is represented by these young men on my left and the right of the great Tuscarora nation. And the brothers and sisters, let's put our hands in the air, brothers and sisters. Red power! Red power! Red power! Red power! Black power! Black power! Red power! Red power! So for that, and in your own way, brothers and sisters, you can offer your own prayers and your thoughts to the millions of our indigenous ancestors and our black ancestors stolen from great civilizations of Africa and enslaved in the Americas to make America the economic power that they are today. When they got off the boat sick, destitute, wrapped in rags, pitiful people. And out of our love and compassion, we taught them how to grow crops in this, what they call the wilderness. Wasn't wild at all until they start killing the indigenous people and all other living creatures that inhabited the sacred Mother Earth. It was then that the West became the Wild West. in the wake of destruction. And so with that in mind, I'm going to ask in the state of North Carolina, I should say this, that 3 weeks ago I was with these young brothers and sisters at a place called Fort Neoroga, where the Tuscaroras had to build a fort to defend themselves against the settlers, the colonists, who committed the most horrendous crimes. And for the media, who have been reporting, and our hearts go out to the victims of Virginia Tech, the families of the 32 young people that have died. But my friends, you are erroneously referring to that as the largest massacre in American history. You don't know your sordid history. Because 900 of these people of the Tuscarora Nation were slaughtered by your ancestors. You don't say it was a long time ago. It is no longer in your memory, but we are reminding you today. Sand Creek, hundreds of our people. Washita Creek, Wounded Knee. I can take you to many places where hundreds and thousands of our people were the victims of the American Holocaust. Before I conclude my comments, I'm going to have this prayer song for all the victims of the African peoples of this land and the indigenous people. I want to comment one more thing. We always hear Americans praising the so-called free enterprise system. You know what that means to us who are assembled here? Free land stolen from us in the wake of the most horrendous Holocaust that would render the Holocaust of the Nazi Germany pale in comparison. The Nazi Holocaust. Right here, these people are the survivors of that Holocaust. So, with that in mind, we will have this opening prayer song.